Hello friends, welcome to another episode of Yacht Delivery Chronicles. It's been a minute since I did one of these, and I'm excited to take you guys along on this delivery. I'm in Honolulu, and I was contacted by a young sailor named Esteban who just bought a beautiful Triton that's fully kitted out, but it's on Kauai, and he needs help delivering it here to Oahu. So we're gonna head over and get that done. We'd planned on flying over, but I found out that another sailor who's done solo ocean sailing before, named Geoff, he has a Pacific Seacraft 37 named Solstice, and it just happened that he was going to be sailing to Kauai for a couple days today as well. So I asked if we could hitch a ride with him. So the three of us are going to sail over to Kauai tonight and be there a day or two, and then we'll turn and burn and bring the Triton back to Honolulu. So let's head over to Geoff's boat in Ko Olina and get the show on the road. Okay, we're on board Solstice, getting ready to untie the lines and head off. Let's see what time it is. It's at 8:45 p.m. on Wednesday night, and we're going to push off for Kauai. And beautiful boat, looking forward to it. Very light winds, so we're going to be motor sailing at least till midnight, and then we'll see how it goes from there. So let's get underway. The plan was to hitch a ride on SV Solstice to Port Allen on Kauai, then make our way on land to Nauwiliwili Harbor, which you'll hear me pronounce wrong many times during this video. Then we would get Esteban's new Triton ready and make way for Oahu and Honolulu, her new home. Quiet night, easy passage. The Tradewinds are completely slack. We just kind of bobbled around, motor sailing all night. I could see the faint glow of the lights of Nauwiliwili Harbor on Kauai at about 5 a.m. And we still can't see the island because of the clouds right now. But we should be in, I think, within 6 hours, maybe 5 hours. Landing in Port Allen on Kauai. Perfect temperature out. It's probably like, I don't know, 72 degrees out. The stars were unbelievable last night. Once the moon set, the stars really popped. And last night was the first time I've seen the Southern Cross, which is pretty exciting. It was much bigger here than I thought it was gonna be, so that was cool. But yeah, the stars are totally bananas. And my GoPro, I can't photograph or video the stars. And actually, Geoff, who is the captain of this ship, Solstice, who I'll introduce to you in a minute, he brought his fancy camera out, tried to photograph the stars, but yeah, when you're on a moving ship, long exposures don't work. But very beautiful. Now I'm watching the sunrise, and yeah, make landfall before too long. Alright, Esteban, introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? My name's Esteban. I live on Oahu, and James is going to help me sail my boat back to Kauai.
Yeah,
to Oahu.
Tell us about your boat.
It's Person Triton 28.
What year?
It's 1959.
Wow.
Number 34.
Wow.
And she's mean. She's got good bones. She's Spartan right now, but she's got a wind vane to help us get her across. And
oh, yeah. What do you want to do with her?
I want to sail around the Hawaiian Islands. Yeah, work on my seamanship, do some inter-island sailing, and just see some beautiful places. And
then, but you have a ton of boat experience. Like tell us about the boats you've been on in the past.
Right, I did a lot of tall ship sailing. Most of it was on the East Coast, New England, all the way up to Nova Scotia, down to Fort Lauderdale, and then a little bit on the West Coast. Schooners mostly, but I taught myself to sail on a Sunfish, you know, in Biscayne Bay in Miami, and then was kind of hooked after that. And so now I finally bought my first boat, and we're gonna do some real blue water sailing out here in the Hawaiian Islands. So,
oh yeah.
So I'm
stoked. Got the right boat for it too.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. We'll see.
Oh yeah. And this is the captain. We're on. Tell us what boat we're on right now first.
So this is a Pacific Seacraft 37. It's designed by a British naval architect, William Creelock, and it's 1999, I think, was when it was built. It was really looked after by the previous owner. So when I took it on, I just made a few additions to make it more kind of suitable for this type of stuff. And other than that, it's been great.
And tell us your name.
Oh, it's Jeff Wyatt.
And tell us about where you bought the boat and how you ended up here.
Well, I bought the boat in LA. So about 98% of my sailing prior to crossing from LA to Hawaii was on Lake Sacandaga in upstate New York on a Hobie getaway. So I'd never really stepped foot on anything like this. But somebody who'd done a lot of ocean sailing in that area suggested a Pacific Seacraft 37, knowing what I wanted to do. And it just so happened there was one for sale in King Harbor, and about, I don't know, a week after I had the conversation with the guy, I was in King Harbor looking at this boat, so it all kind of came together nicely.
Oh yeah, and then you told me last night you never even slept on a boat before you did your ocean crossing.
No, I'd never slept on a boat. I'd never kind of lost sight of land on any kind of boat, really.
And you were solo?
I was solo, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and the only kind of, the first night was really scary because I just kind of passed through all the islands, like I mentioned to you. And then the wind really got up, the waves really got up, and I kind of shit myself a little bit. But then I kind of rerouted on the inside of San Clemente Island.
And these are all the northern Channel Islands of Southern California?
Yes, yeah.
Or not the northern Channel, but the Channel Islands of Southern California.
Channel Islands, right. And then kind of headed south a little bit. And I was going to go all the way to Guadalupe Island and then turn west, but it was just too far, so I just decided to, about a day in, I just turned west and went straight up to Hawaii.
And then, yeah, how long before you were in the trades where it got that comfortable rolliness?
Oh, I'd say from when I kind of got to the bottom of San Clemente Island, it was probably 3 days, something like that. Yeah, 3 days. It was winter too, so they were kind of further south than they are in the summer. So that was the other thing about that, is I had to sort of go further south to get into it than you would in the summer.
And you said you didn't have any rain on your entire passage, right?
Not even a drip.
Wow.
No, not a drip. No, I mean, it was kind of like it is right now, every single day.
Yeah, and then you said you got spanked pretty hard outside Hilo?
I did. I got like about 45 knots of wind, huge waves, and yeah, I hove to with too much sail up, and the boat was tipped over so much that, like this, the sidelong here, this was all, the water was inside of this, hitting the windows, and I slept on the wall of the berth that night, so it wasn't comfortable, but I tell you what, in terms of building confidence on the boat.
You definitely know the boat now,
yeah,
right?
I know what she can take, and it's a lot more than I can take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after helo, you told me that when you were crossing the Alinuihaha, that your monitor wind vane exploded, right?
It did, yeah. So that was probably like from a wave standpoint, and not wind, but waves. That was probably the roughest, you know, roughest I came across. And yeah, I looked back and like the paddle was like just dragging in the water, so I managed to retrieve it, but it was done. There was no way I could fix it on the go. And
yeah, at least you were close in at that point.
Yeah.
But that Alinuihaha is no joke, man. It's
no, not at all.
It is a serious channel. This channel has been very quiet.
Yes.
We have had a very, very mellow sail, motor sail, and but it's been pleasant, beautiful. Now it's sunny and warm, and we're a couple hours from making landfall at Kauai. We can see the mountain, looks gorgeous, and yeah, beautiful day in the Hawaiian Islands.
What does it say now? 301. 301. There you go. Packing line there. No, that's diesel.
Looks like diesel.
That is diesel.
100%. Alright, I'm gonna grab that. This is not good. Put her in the front. Just stuff is spinning around. What the fuck?
That is. So we have diesel in the bilge, and we're trying to get it to drain, and then we got to figure out where the diesel came from.
I'll tell you if I see it coming through. There it is.
Slide in there.
Oh, push that forward, yeah.
Want it neutral?
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah, your fuel line's cracked right there.
Oh, the actual line itself?
Yeah, if you pull that off, I'll show you exactly where it is.
Okay.
We can probably do some kind of like temporary repair to get us in.
Right.
But at least we have wind to sail, right? So,
Yep.
And then we'll just use it the last bit.
Go on, let's see what we got.
So, there's a crack right there.
Oh my god, yep. You got it.
Oh, well if it's rubber, then
Oh, yeah,
we can just cut it and push it.
Yep. I think so.
So that's it. That's where it's coming from.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
We might, yeah, we'll probably
Look
have
at
to
that, just
bleed
comes
the
right off.
Yeah, we'll probably have to bleed the system once you do that, but
Okay.
yep, there you go.
Alright, so I need to find
Should
something
we?
to cut this sucker then.
So yeah, the hose line, like the fuel line on the secondary filter, had a crack in it, probably from just years of wiggling and wiggling. Had a little crack, you could just see it spurting out, but that was a lot of diesel, so it must have just been doing that all night, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you had smelled diesel down there before, right? So
I did. I can
yeah.
smell diesel the whole way.
So, and then we discovered it because I saw what I thought was water on the cabin sole, and then Jeff was like, "Oh, that looks like diesel." It didn't smell like diesel in there, but it definitely smells like diesel in here, huh?
Because we're so used to it, it gradually,
Yeah.
you know.
So, but we'll be able to get it. We're close to shore, right? So it's
Well,
like,
we're done almost. I've almost fixed it.
yeah. Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, Jeff just killed the engine just to have some fun sailing because we were like right here at the end of the trip and we got a little bit of wind. But I'm glad we figured it out.
Oh, this thing's a pain in the ass.
So yeah, we're gonna get it knocked out. It's just like splitting.
Yeah, it's weak. It was end of life for that hose. Yeah, it's kind of fucked, but hopefully we can get us in. Sailing happily along now, doing like 4.5 knots, approaching Port Allen. We're about 10 miles out. Get into Port Allen and sort out a fuel line for Geoff, and yeah, then make our way to New Willy Willy Harbor, and that's where Esteban's boat is. Beautiful out right now though, gorgeous morning, very, very small seas, and just enough wind to get us moving. Feels so nice to be sailing. And we got the diesel line fixed enough to be able to start it and get us in to the harbor once we get there. But yeah, it has to be dealt with for sure. If you enjoy the content on this channel and would like to contribute, you can consider joining the Patreon crew. Thanks for watching. Fair winds until next time.